Today I want to talk to you about branding. Every week I'm going to be talking to you about branding because that's what I do. I live and I breathe branding. But today in particular I want to talk to you about what the heck branding actually is. It's a term that's thrown around a lot in marketing, and when you're building your business it's something that people say you should do, but do you even know what it means? It's kind of just a buzzword that people say a lot. It gets mixed up between brand and branding and strategy and logos and identities and all these different words that kind of mean the same thing or get melded together to mean the same thing when actually they're quite different. And knowing what branding is really going to empower you and give you the tools to talk about it and to research it and to go out and implement it and work on it when you know exactly what it is. So when we talk about branding, I want you to think about the last time that you were online shopping. Let's say, for example, you were shopping for a new cell phone. There are things like recommendations from your friends, ads that you might have seen on social media, influencers that you might have seen doing YouTube reviews about them or talking about them online, things like the materials that they're made of or the values that the company stands for, the price of the product, the website and how easy that is to use, how sustainable the business is. All of these things add together to create your perception of this brand and ultimately help you to make a decision, because you're putting all these things together in your mind to create a perception of this brand, to decide what you think about them, decide how you feel about them, how you react to them. And these are the things that are ultimately going to lead to you making a decision about which phone you're going to buy. And these feelings that you have, or these things that you associate with the brand, might be practical things like this phone is really lightweight, it's really sleek, and it looks good. Or they might be more emotional things like, when I have this phone, when I hold this phone, I feel really professional, I'm one of the cool kids, I'm part of this club of people who are all into the same thing. And it's more of an emotional response to the brand rather than focusing on the practical things, the benefits and the features, which are still really important. Two businesses can sell the same product or essentially the same product, but have completely different brands that you relate to and respond to. All of these things play into your perception of a brand and ultimately lead to you making a decision about which one to purchase. When we are making these purchasing decisions, which brands to be loyal to, which services to engage with, things like that, we are flooded with so many connotations. If I'm at the supermarket and I'm deciding about a new shampoo to buy, which is a big deal for me because I have quite wild, curly, dry, frizzy hair, and so it sounds kind of silly, but this is a big decision for me, right? And there are so many different things that play into my decision making about which one I'm gonna buy. I was a graphic designer before this, and so I have an affinity for nice packaging, and things that are badly designed or that I think are badly designed turn me off, and I don't want to buy them because I don't think that the quality is very good, and I feel like the ones with nice packaging are better and higher quality and more appealing to me. I'm also thinking about the price, chemicals that are in the product, and the sustainability of the packaging. Is it made out of recycled plastic? Do they give back to a charity? What is it going to look like in my bathroom? There are so many things, and I might not consciously think about these things at the time or know that I'm thinking about them, but they're definitely going through my mind. The packaging, does it stand out on the shelf? If I'm just quickly grabbing something, it needs to stand out, it needs to look good, I need to clearly be able to see what's on the packaging. I'm probably thinking, quick, I need one that has no sulfates, that looks good, seems like it's going to be great for my hair, and is like an okay brand to support. So all of these connotations that I have at the time in the supermarket when I'm checking out the shampoo, ultimately they lead to me deciding which one to grab off the shelf, take to the checkout and buy. All of these things make up the brand, and this is branding. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about the difference between a brand, branding, brand strategy, identity, and logos. These are all words that get muddled together, used willy-nilly here and there, and it can get confusing, especially when you're not exactly sure what things mean what. So let's start with a brand. A brand is a noun, it's a thing, Your brand is something that you own. It's the gut reaction that people have to your business. Seth Godin describes it as a set of expectations, memories, stories, and experiences that when you bring them together, all account for a consumer's decision to purchase a product or service. David Ogilvy describes it as the intangible sum of all of a product or service's attributes. So that can be the price, its reputation, the experiences that you've had with that brand before, its history, and the way that it's advertised. So that is your brand. It's what people think of when they think of your business. People think of me, they think branding, they think black and white, they think orange, that's my main brand color, that I am fun, helpful, and teach a lot of useful things about branding. All of these things are part of my brand. And then branding. This is the process of intentionally informing what people think about your brand and trying to direct the way that your brand is perceived and what people think about it and how they react to it when they encounter it. So that can be creating visuals or messaging or experiences or customer service or all of these different things that play into how your brand is perceived. A brand strategy is then the plan for how exactly you're going to do that. It outlines who your audience is, who the market is, where you fit in that market, how much you're going to charge for your product or service, how you're going to market what you do, what messaging you're going to use, all of these things. You create a plan and a strategy for how you're going to influence the way that people think about your brand. Your visual identity, or what some people call branding, is one part of the branding puzzle. It's the visual aspect of your brand. It includes things like colors and fonts, logos, patterns, imagery, all things like this that create something that people can see, that help people to identify you and recognize you when they see your business. But it's just one part of the puzzle. There are other things, like I mentioned, messaging, experiences, customer service, that make up your brand and that you can create through branding. Some ways that you can do this are your positioning, where you fit in the market, who your audience is, who are the people that you're talking to, your messaging, what you say to people, how you say that to people, partnerships and collaborations and sponsorships that you have. These can play into your branding a lot when people associate you with different brands, different businesses that you've connected with, that you've done partnerships with, or you've been sponsored by. These are really important parts of your brand too. Your social media content creates a big impact on your branding, your communications, your public relations, the reputation that you have, how people have talked about you in the past, the referrals that they've shared about you, hopefully no complaints, but if there are, that's part of your brand too. Experiences that people have with your brand in person, online. What does that journey look like from them encountering you for the first time and then going through the process of purchasing from you or booking in one of your services? What does that experience look and feel like for your customer? The packaging, products and services that you sell, and your pricing strategy as well. How much do these things cost? How does that influence where you fit in the market? What does that say about you and who you're appealing to, who you're talking to? All of these things are different ways that when put together can influence how people think about your business and create a brand that really talks to the right people, represents you, helps you to succeed in whatever it is that you're doing. So that is a little mini explanation about what the heck branding actually is. When you see some of us branding people or designers or marketing people talking about branding, now you know this is what we're talking about. Now you know how it impacts your business. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about why this is so important for you and how it's going to help you as a creative entrepreneur to grow your business, to establish yourself in whatever it is that you're doing, and to get the right audience and everybody on board. So stay tuned for that one. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.